on a Voice for Choice Advocacy, we have 3 documents that relate to the current version of the bill. So one of them is a list of questions and a list of amendments. So there's still a huge number of questions. You read through this bill, and we've gone through it line by line by line, just saying, what does this mean? Like, it's not defined. It's not defined. You know, one part of it says that if the physician is found to be a public, it's not a public nuisance, but it basically is words to that effect. It's kind of like, what does that mean? What does it mean if they're accused of being a public nuisance? Like, what is that? And how do you become accused? And who's accusing you? You know, what is the deal with this? You know, and so there's a lot of things. So one document is that. Another document goes through our key issues. So I think there are about 10 to 13 key issues that we have identified with the bill. And we've gone through what the issues are, and then we've got suggested amendments to those issues. Now, some people are saying, well, we just want to kill the bill. We want to kill the bill, and we don't want amendments because this bill is bad. I agree completely. This bill is atrocious. We don't want this bill at all. But Senator Pan believes he has the votes, and I do think he does have the votes, to get this to pass without any amendments. So our request has been, and even some of the people that are a no vote, a Democrat no vote, have gone to him and said, look, there's issues with the bill. Like, we've got to make it a functional bill, that if it comes out, that it actually can work and not just prohibit every medical exemption on in California. And he has basically said, I don't need to. I don't need to have that conversation because I've got the votes. We are still pressing for amendments. It is a controversial topic, I would say. There are many people that are saying we want to just kill the bill. And I think for the summer, if that's the next 2 weeks, if that's the way you want to go into a legislative meeting, that's fine. What we've found in the past is, since 2015 in SB277, a Voice for Choice Advocacy has been working closely with a number of organizations. One of the organizations that we work a lot with is Educate Advocate. And what we found over the past 3-4 years is legislators are much more open if you go in and say, I have these issues with the bill, but these are the solutions. If you just go in and say, we want to kill the bill, they kind of turn off. They're kind of, unless they're already a no vote, they're kind of like, this is passing. Like, I have a political side of this that I need to consider. I need to consider my election. I need to consider what bills I have out there and who's going to vote on them. I have, a whole bunch of decisions that go into how they're going to vote on a bill. We've had really good success with bills in the past 3 years. There was a home visit. It started with a home visiting bill in 2017, which we were just like, we don't like home visiting. We don't want it to happen. And we went into the office initially and we're just like, we want to get rid of this bill. Like, we want to kill it. Not a good idea. And they were like, it's possible. It's moving forward. So then we came up with a really robust paragraph that basically said, you need to have this paragraph in documentation that's given to the parent that says that it is an they have to opt into this doing this home visiting. So they have to sign a statement saying, I'm opting into this, and I know that at any time I can opt out of it and there will be no ramifications to my CalWorks, which is what it was a part of. And so we got this paragraph, this amendment in, and it was amazing because it was like, okay, now we'll remove our opposition. We never supported the bill. They wanted us to support the bill because they had made the amendment. And we said, we'll never support the bill because it goes against our premise. We don't agree with home visiting to begin with, but at least this makes it workable because the parent is knowledgeable about what it is. And so we started off with that, and we've realized now that to get a legislative relationship, it is so much better because you want to work with them in the future. We're not, even if we kill this bill, there's going to be a bill next year. There's going to be a bill the year after and the year after and the year after. And if you're seen as somebody that is just, I want to kill the bill, it needs to be dead, I'm going to, hate on you if you don't vote no, that just doesn't work. And so we have this other document that we have is a list of all of the concerns, the major concerns that we have, and with it, what the amendments are that we're asking for. And I actually think that if we could get these amendments, we actually have a much stronger bill than even in 277. And the reason for that is that we would have the medical exemption. Two of the key points are, number one, that we have a medical exemption that is really robustly outlined what can be included, and we really want things like relevant research to be included in that. So it's no longer based on relevant standard of care, it's based on relevant research, and that can be research that came out yesterday. The other place that we want it to be clarified is the appeals process. And there's an act called the Knox-Keene Act, which is used for insurance. Basically, if your doctor says you should be prescribed this medication or this treatment, and your insurance company says, nope, we're not going to take that, we don't agree that that should be, you can come forward with all of this documentation saying that, yes, this is why you should do it. And it includes the latest research and the latest, even things from conferences that can be included. And so we're asking for that wording, the exact wording, to be used in the appeals process for a medical exemption. And if we can get those two things, SB276 would actually be more robust than SB277, and would allow our doctors to practice medicine and to be able to give medical exemptions for the children that they believe have a detrimental risk to vaccines, and in a really robust way, and give them sort of the backup of being able to say, well, I used this journal article, this piece of research that just came out that said, this subgroup should not be given vaccines. So those are the two, I do believe that the amendment process, if this bill is to pass, which Senator Pan seems mighty convinced that it is, it has to be a better bill. It has to be better than this, and we have to request amendments. So your legislator is, if they're part of the Appropriations Committee, they should go to Lorena Gonzalez's office and say, we have concerns with this piece of the bill, I would like this amendment to be made. If he or she is not part of the Appropriations Committee, then you want to tell them to go to both Senator Pan's office as well as Assemblymember Aguilar-Curry's office. And Assemblymember Aguilar-Curry's office and her staff have specifically said, if we have issues with the bill, she's a co-author on it, but if we have issues on the bill, we should go to her office, or the legislators should go to her office as colleagues and say, these are the issues we have with the bill. What can be done about them? We have real concerns with this, this, and this. And they have said to us that they will absolutely look at them and consider them and go talk to Pan about them. Senator Pan has not been open to taking any conversations about amendments. When legislators have brought them up to him, he's basically said, we have the votes and we're willing to, we don't need to take amendments.